Members of the National Education Union are demanding a fully funded, above-inflation pay rise. Around 23,000 schools will be affected by the strikes. Today, the first of 7 planned walkouts, with both primary and secondary school teachers taking action.
Education is chronically underfunded. There are many teachers and support staff who are relying on universal credit and food banks just to get by. With inflation, over the last 10 years, teachers have lost 23% of their pay and support staff have lost 27%. This then means that a third of teachers are losing the job within 5 years of starting. The government like to say that teachers have had a 5% pay increase recently, but this actually came out of school budgets rather than from the government. So there's now an even tighter squeeze on schools, less money for children, less money for their education.
We strike with a heavy heart. I would much prefer to be in my classroom educating and supporting my students through their curriculum and through into their exam period. We don't take this lightly. However, some action needs to be taken by the government. One day of disruption, hopefully, might be a catalyst for change in this profession, a change in our salaries, an increase in our salaries. And my concern is if we don't take action now and immediately, that we are going to pay the price, and students will pay the price in 5-10 years' time when this country cannot maintain the national staffing levels in primary and secondary education.
Whether or not the school stays open is up to the head teacher. Teachers have no obligation to tell them whether or not they will be striking, so some parents will arrive not knowing if there'll be a class for their children to attend.
Although I am in a position where I could have them, I'm very well aware that others would not. And I think it's just not a responsible thing to do. As much as I support strike action in the way that they're, the achievement that they're trying to get to, however, actually, not knowing as a parent is very, it's anxious. It's a really anxious, worrying time. So I do often request to take my children out for holidays and are faced with fine action. I just think that 1 minute we aren't allowed to take our children out of school, and then the next minute teachers are allowed to just not turn up.
Some teachers say that post-pandemic industrial action should be avoided.
Well, I don't agree with strike action. I don't think it's going to achieve the desired effect. I am empathetic that, with the cost of living and everything, that teachers do need to be paid more because we do have a recruitment crisis in this country. But I don't think strike action is the most effective way of achieving this.
The Institute for Fiscal Studies says that teacher salaries in England fell by an average of 11% in real terms between 2010 and 2022. The government says that most state school teachers in England and Wales received a 5% pay rise last year, which came out of pre-existing school budgets. Talks between unions and the government are ongoing. Ellie Costello, GB News.